Here's a question that I get asked a lot. Is it possible for someone who is born in Gen Z to actually live a life without the internet?
Bro, that was so not Gucci. That bullet almost messed up my hair. Like, OMG, can you not?
Yo, what's up, my dudes? It's your boy, Private Pringle, here live from World War III. It's kind of lit.
Oh.
Well, listen, I use the internet all of the time, and I'm using it right now to record this video and to upload it to YouTube. That's why you're watching it. But I'm someone who hasn't had social media for 3 years, and I've massively reduced the amount of time that I consume content on the internet. And most of the advice that I give to people on this channel is about having a healthier digital diet, aiming people towards digital minimalism and allowing your digital experience to benefit you rather than be a crutch that you have to rely on. And here we're going to discuss a story of someone who has the same question that a lot of people in my generation are thinking. And that is, how are we going to be able to navigate in a world where you seem so reliant on the internet? Is there any hope for a Gen Zer trying to live without the internet? Hi everyone, I'm 20 years old. Unlike most of my generation, I've spent most of my life online. Honestly, imagining a life outside the internet feels almost impossible. So I'm 23 years old, I'm about to be 24 years old, and I'm the same. I've spent most of my life surrounded by the internet. I wasn't growing up in the 90s when I could still remember not having the internet. You know, I've had it my whole life and it's just part of the norm. And that's why it's much harder for people in my generation to actually get off the internet or to reduce how long they spend scrolling, consuming content. I feel like my childhood and teenage years were stolen by the internet. Instead of spending my time biking, hanging out with friends, or just being a kid, I was scrolling Reddit, watching porn, binging YouTube, and playing video games. So it's exactly for this reason why I initially got onto the idea of self-improvement and specifically digital detox. Like, I realized that I had a super unhealthy relationship with my phone, with the content I was consuming, with the amount of time that I was spending looking at screens. And honestly, one of the biggest problems was watching porn, playing video games, just wasting a bunch of fucking time. And I wanted to do other things with my life, right? I wanted to become fit at the gym. I wanted to become fit physically, like go for runs. I wanted to go for walks. I wanted to go for hikes into nature and shit. And all my friends kind of wanted to do the same thing. But we were all locked in basically just GTA 5, right? We'd all like hop on after school, right? We'd go jump on the PS4. We'd start playing GTA 5. And then after that, we'd like go our separate ways. I would probably watch porn on my laptop. I would scroll through my phone throughout the day. Like, I had a good friendship group of like boys, like this guy's explaining, but we were all kind of trapped in our digital world because we're all from this Gen Z, right? Like, we just grown up with it. And we all kind of had this longing to go for adventures, like hobbits or some shit, right? Wanting to go hiking into the woods, going mountain biking, like going outside into nature. And it was only when I really started to realize that I had a problem with like things like playing video games and scrolling through my laptop endlessly on my phone that I actually came away from that and started meeting up with the boys in person, going for walks, going for a coffee, like simple little things that you can do in the day that just seem a bit kind of lame, honestly, like when you say it, but actually when you do it, it's really wholesome. Like just go for a coffee with you, mate. Honestly, like if you're gonna get any advice out of this video from this section that we're on currently, just message your friend and just ask them if they want to go for a coffee tomorrow or go for a drink after work or whatever. Like, you know, just meet people, have real conversations, go outside. Like, don't be confined to your technology. Don't be confined to hopping online with the boys, because trust me, when you get to my age, like I'm 24, you might be like 18 right now, you're in the same generation, you're going through the same thing as me. It's fun at the time, but after a while, it gets old and you'll just want to get outside and you'll just want to meet in person and like have that physical connection. Sure, there were positives. I discovered amazing books and ideas online I wouldn't have found otherwise, but most of my time wasn't spent reading. It was wasted. I especially resent how video games dominated my friendships. All our memories are digital, and that hurts. So that's exactly what I've just been talking about. I look back at my friendship group and, you know, the people I was friends with at high school and stuff like that. I'm still friends with a lot of them now. We would spend all our times just on literally just GTA 5. Like, we would just bash that game out so much. And there's like, it's such a waste of time when you look back at it and you step away from this stuff and you get rid of, like, you know, the consoles and you just step away from the digital world for a little bit. You look back and you're like, holy shit, I don't even remember like any of the memories like from GTA. I have no memories from it, right? Because it wasn't meaningful. It was just this vacuous content consumption. And don't get me wrong, like it was fun at the time. Yeah, cool. But the only things I remember actually being with my friends and my friendship group is when we went on a hike that lasted like 5 hours. That's the only thing I remember. And we actually did that and it was really fun. And we're going to do it again soon. But that's like the only things you remember is when you're actually together and you're outside and you're doing something like physical, like an activity. And that's something that is super difficult for people in my generation to do, again, because we've just been brought up in a virtual digital realm. But he's also talking here about some of the positives of the internet. So obviously he's found loads of cool books and ideas, but he hasn't read the books and he hasn't really acted on any of the ideas. So yes, I agree. The internet is a great place for advice and resources. Hey, look, you're watching this video right now. This is advice, it's resources, it's educational content to help you. That is one benefit of the internet. You have all of the information you could possibly need at your fingertips, and that's an incredibly powerful tool. But unfortunately, a lot of people use this supercomputer that we have in our pockets to watch cat videos, to watch Family Guy shorts, to watch brain rot content on TikTok, to watch porn. So it's just all about transforming the way you think about using your phone, using the internet for digital minimalism, and using the internet to benefit you, using your phone to actually benefit you, uplift you as a person, improve your knowledge, improve your career, improve your aspiration, rather than letting it leech off of you, rather than letting the apps and the attention economy take up all of your time and focus. Sometimes I read books or watch movies set in pre-internet times, and I feel this longing, like life was more alive back then. Looking for Alaska hit me hard in that way. But when I look around today, everything is mediated by screens. Friendships start on Instagram. Creativity means starting a YouTube channel. Success means going viral. Even dating has been swallowed by the apps. That's super interesting, because I have the exact same feeling when I watch old films that are set in kind of like, the mafia kind of gangster films, like Martin Scorsese films, right? Like the Goodfellas and like films like The Godfather and stuff. I watch these films, I like these kind of films, right? I think they're really good. But when you watch them, it's like you see everyone in like that era and there's like no phones, there's no screens, there's no tablets, there's no fucking AI technology, there's none of this bullshit. And everyone just seems like so much better at connection and conversation. And yeah, the films I've given are a bad example because they're like criminal organizations like mafia, right? Okay, whatever. Just brush over that a second. They're all like round the table. They're all having dinner with each other. They're all eating together. They share conversation over a drink. And it's like just this much more family oriented kind of real human feeling. And I feel like we've really lost something with that, with this generation, specifically with my generation. And obviously like millennials and stuff, obviously they grew up with the internet as well, but not in the same way that Gen Z has. It's so normalized in my generation to kind of not be capable of having that connection, right? People are scared to talk to strangers across the aisle and have this kind of standoffish initial impression of people. And I've seen this firsthand for myself when I've talked to other people my age, whether that's guys or girls, whatever, who I don't know. And I've introduced myself and there's this immediate kind of like weirdness about the situation. Whereas I feel like in the olden kind of days, it wouldn't have been as weird to just talk to strangers, right? People were not more confident, but it was so much more normal to just interact with people and have real human interactions, because now everything's just done over the internet. Like he says, you meet your friends over Instagram, you talk to your friends over PS4 chat, you message people on WhatsApp. It's like, where's that connection, man? Where's that gone? Where's that world gone? And I feel like it's sad. And I totally get his feeling of like, you watch these old films and you feel this like longing, like, you were meant to be born in that generation. And that's kind of, I guess, what I'm fighting against here with this channel. And I also like how he mentions, to be creative, you need to have a YouTube channel. Like, I guess, yeah, I mean, I have this YouTube channel, right? I guess the work I'm doing is not super creative, right? All I'm doing is talking about the stuff that I have a good amount of knowledge in, because like I said, with myself, I've been able to take myself away from social media and stay off of it, and then use the technology around me to help me with this YouTube channel to build a career for myself in video editing, for example. And that means that I get to work from the comfort of my own room. I don't have to work at some other company and stuff. I've used technology to help myself rather than let myself be taken by the technology and help big companies, right? That's basically the mission of my channel, that I want to translate this knowledge onto other people. And I don't know if that's necessarily a super creative endeavor. And that's why I do creative things on the side that are not really related to this YouTube channel. Like I do a lot of writing and world building and stuff like that. I like drawing and art, and that's like all stuff I do in my pastime that's creative. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with just to be creative you have to have a YouTube channel, but I see where he's coming from, right? Like it seems weird to draw or to write anymore, and to use like analog tactile techniques to be creative with. But I think that's something that I can help you with, right? I can definitely teach people how to do that. And I think it's good if we can actually learn how to be creative people, because that's one of the essential skills that is going to help you so much in other areas of your life, is just being able to think and be creative. Listen, if you like this kind of advice and you think this conversation and this issue is important and it's valuable to talk about it, then go check the top link in the description. Totally free social media course that I've made in there to get off social media and stay off social media. Again, it's completely free. Go check out the top link in the description. I know this isn't healthy and I don't want to live like this, but I don't know how to escape. The internet feels like a trap. I truly believe most of it is toxic, even evil, but I also feel like leaving it would isolate me completely. So this happened to me. I deleted all of my social media apps around 3 years ago, and instantly I was no longer in touch with any of my friends. I was probably in touch with like 30 to 40 people, mainly over Snapchat, right? Sending Snapchat streaks, like taking a random picture of my face and just sending it through on the streaks, or, you know, messaging people on Instagram, DMing people. Me and my mate would send a lot of memes to each other and like bullshit, brain rot content, reels. And I got rid of everything. I just thought, fuck this, right? It's all utter nonsense. I'm getting rid of it. And so what happened? I was totally isolated from my like friendship group, and I actually went ahead and made a lads group chat, right? You might have the lads group chat. I made a lads group chat on WhatsApp and invited my friends to join that group chat. And we previously had a group chat on Snapchat, which they were still using. And then we moved to WhatsApp, and it took like a while for them to start using WhatsApp. I was left out of the group, right? Whenever they would go do something, like go to the pub for a few drinks, I was like basically not invited because I didn't see the group chat. And one of them had to like remember and actually ring me directly. And they were like, oh, have you not seen Snapchat? And I'm like, no. And they're like, oh yeah, shit, you've deleted it. They like forgot. So they ring me and they're like, oh, do you want to come do this thing on whenever, right? So I felt like a little bit disconnected and left out. But that being said, I've formed stronger relationships with the fewer people that actually matter. So this is something that you might not quite understand yet, but you probably have a bunch of friends online, a bunch of internet friends. And you might think it's important to maintain that Snapchat streak or keep sending that random dude that you haven't seen in 4 years reels off of Instagram, right? Or TikToks. You might think that's important. But when you actually get rid of this shit and you detox yourself from social media, you get rid of it, and you start living this more minimalistic lifestyle, you will actually find that your relationships improve with a smaller cohort of your friends. But they're the friends that actually count. They're the ones that you're meeting up with in person. They're the ones that you're regularly going to the gym with. They're the ones that you're regularly going to the bars with and the pubs with, or nights out with, and you can have conversations with them. And when you're at this level of friendship with these people, you're going to stay in touch with them over WhatsApp or Messenger. And you're not going to need social media to act as a bridge between you and that person. And yes, this means you're going to lose some friends. Some friends are not going to want to stay in touch with you if you're not willing to send them a snap every day to upkeep your Snapchat streak. But you know what I say to that? Fuck them, right? You don't need friends like that. Why do you need friends like that? You don't. So just fuck them off, okay? You only need like 4 or 5 good friends, maybe even just 3 or 4, right? Good, solid friends that you meet. It doesn't matter if you have them on social media. They don't care if you have social media or not. It doesn't matter. They want to be friends with you regardless. And if you have friends who don't want to be friends with you anymore because you want to improve your life and improve your mental health and you want to get away from this shit, if they're not backing you up on that and they're not with you on that, fuck them off, mate. Is there a real way out? Has anyone here actually managed to disconnect and still find meaning, friends, and purpose in the offline world? I'd love to hear your stories. I'm desperate for change, but terrified I'll lose everything if I leave. So here's what I'm going to say to this as a piece of advice to finish off this quite long video. The internet is a super, super powerful tool. Tool being the key word there. So you need to use the internet like you were about to use a tool. Imagine if you carried a power drill around with you in your pocket every waking day. You would look like the biggest weirdo in the world, right? You're walking down the street, you've got a big power drill here. You wouldn't need to carry it around with you. But when you do need the power drill, you find that specific tool and you use it and you drill with it and then you put it back, okay? That's how I think of the internet. I have my phone on the stand, okay? I use it to record videos and it stays on the stand. I have my laptop here that's used for editing videos. I have my monitor here that's used also for editing, okay? This is my setup, it's my technology, okay? I have my phone here and this is my like dumb phone, okay? So it's all in black and white. There's nothing really on there. There's no apps, nothing. All that's on there is WhatsApp and like text messenger and calls and Google Maps, to be fair, in case I get lost, which I won't because I'm just in my hometown, okay? But that's all I've got. So the point is, you don't need to carry all of these tools with you in your pocket in your everyday life. You don't need to have constant access to a piece of software that delivers endless content like TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. You don't need to have 24-hour access to that in your pocket. That's the big problem, is that technology in our generation, in nowadays, is so advanced, it's so invasive, and it's so addictive that you cannot afford to allow yourself to take it with you everywhere you go. You need to make your phone into a dumb phone, essentially, where you're not tempted to use it, right? Put it into grayscale. Go check out my video that I made on how to basically turn your phone into a dumb phone and save yourself 10 years of wasting your life consuming content. Go watch that video. It'll tell you exactly how to do it. But don't carry this tool around with you everywhere. Use the tool as it's meant to be used, right? To create content for a business, to research for your upcoming exams, to watch educational content that you have a desire to learn about some specific thing, whether it's to improve your digital health, digital detox, or for like gym advice. But make sure you're actually using it like a tool, and don't let the internet, and specifically the internet companies, the big tech companies, use you, because that's what's happening right now with this guy. He feels like, he's like, is there a way out? And it's like, not really. Let's be honest, there's no way out. The internet's not going anywhere. Phones aren't going anywhere. Laptops aren't going anywhere. YouTube's not going anywhere, but there is a way out. And that is, you just need a bit of willpower, and you just need to use the internet like a tool and not a crutch that you rely on for your everyday dopamine. I hope you found some of that advice helpful, mate. Thank you so much for getting this far in the video. If you did like it, go down and drop a like and subscribe if you want more content about this very important topic that not many people talk about. Okay, mate, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.